it. I will watch it.
Mr. Seth's film reviews. Watched Babylon today. Finally got to see it. Did it come out today? Like, is today?
Yeah, it came out today.
Okay, cool. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean,
thoughts, comments, concerns.
It's to be honest, I thought I would give this what I did. I gave it a 4 out of 5. First 2 hours, I can't remember the last time I laughed that much in a cinema. I thought it was hilarious.
Was it can this be a full spoiler review?
Yeah. It's been out for a while.
It's been out a long time here. It just came out in the UK. It's out everywhere. Was it
you're about to say what you texted me?
I forget what I texted you, but was it the Margot Robbie acting scene where that guy like dies in the filming room
when he gets too hot? That killed me.
They keep having to do retakes of that was so funny.
The scenes of the shooting was just brilliant. Like,
I gotta go find what I texted you.
The first 2 hours,
you texted me about the bathroom scene. Where the guy's bent over the bathroom throwing up, and after being rejected by a girl, and Brad Pitt's like, "Well, she's a lesbian. It's an uphill battle for anyone."
Yeah, that was pretty funny. He's like, "It's an uphill battle, anyways," and he's like, that was pretty funny.
All right, go, Seth. We're diverting.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the first 2 hours. Like, just funny, exhilarating, electric performances, and it was just like an experience. It was just, the scene where they're shooting like the war epic. I just loved every part of that. I thought it was so just brilliant and just so well done.
I loved this part of it. It's like was it the war epic? Yeah, or Brad Pitt's doing his like emotional.
He's doing the romance,
right? But he's like drunk as hell, and then they're like
going up the hill and they fall down.
Yeah. But like they start filming and he just turns it on, right? And have you ever seen like that video of like Leo behind the scenes of Wolf of Wall Street, like right before filming?
I know what you're referring to.
As soon as they hit like say action, he's just the Wolf of Wall Street,
which is funny because that's the comparison I would make for this film is the Wolf of Wall Street.
No, and that like I loved that, like how he's drunk as hell, but these actors are just like so damn good. Obviously, like he wasn't, but for other reasons, like they just turn it on and they're ready to go, and give like the scene of their life or something. I love that.
I loved also in that war epic scene when the guy died from being impaled, and they were like, he died of alcoholism or whatever. What did they say he died of? He was an alcoholic, and that's what got him.
Oh yeah, I can't. I had notes for this movie, and I deleted them because I was like, we're not coming back to it, so I don't have them anymore. But one of them was, does Margot Robbie, do you think she's better at her accent, like Margot Robbie talking, or her American accent? Like, what do you think she's better at? She can just do both.
Probably better at her own accent.
Well, no shit, but like she's always in.
What is this question?
You guys didn't play along. She's always doing her New York accent. Like in every movie, she does her New York accent. She probably just talks like that perfectly fine now. She could do either.
She definitely. Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You guys didn't play into that one. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. But it's kind of where I was at with it.
I'll continue.
Good at the accent.
I will say the final hour I liked it. It was still good. There was still some scenes I enjoyed. I know I'm in the minority. I didn't like the ending like at all, to be honest. I also thought that a lot of the imagery, a lot of the themes in the final kind of like half an hour Tobey Maguire scene. Tobey Maguire fucking didn't like the scene, but Tobey Maguire was great. I really liked it. So fucking weird. Yeah, I really liked him. But yeah, like it was almost spoon-fed. It was so like on the nose, the imagery. It was like, here it is. And I feel like that's just him not being confident in what he's kind of delivering in this portrayal of the imagery. It was so like, these are the things we're giving it to you. And that was kind of my issue with the final scene as well. That it was like, I know why people liked it, the little montage with the films at the end. Yeah, I get it. I get why people like that. But for me, it was like, we kind of like watching this, we understand the connection with this medium. And I didn't really like that being kind of thrown in my face because I already got that theme and I didn't need it, if that makes sense. I know I'm in the minority because I did my review and then I've had like loads of comments saying like I'm surprised you didn't like the ending because
there's a good bit of people who I've seen not like my girlfriend, and she's like, I wish it would have just been flashbacks of Manny and Nelly, and they never. Yeah, like the first bit was, then it got into like all the movies of the future and stuff. Where
I just found that like to be like, okay, you don't really need to show us that. We already understand the appreciation for the medium of film throughout the film anyway. We don't need that shown to us.
I think if the score didn't hit as much as it did.
Oh, sorry, the score was great. Yeah.
No,
sorry.
yeah, but it was definitely like a Voodoo Mama iteration at the end. If it did not hit as much as it did, I think I might agree with you on that ending. But I think just the combination of the two, I was in awe with that thing. I love.
Which is the Voodoo? Is that the main?
That's the like. Oh God!
That's gonna be in my head for a while.
And then Coke Room's the other good one.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to that.
I love it.
Are my favorite.
I think that ending was like a really good, and I loved it obviously because it goes back to that first scene with Nelly and Manny, where Nelly was like, "What do you want to be, or what do you want to do?" And Manny's answer is, "I want to be a part of something that means something." So I think the whole movie was just like, doesn't fucking matter what happens in 1920. Everything they're doing is leading up to just the future of cinema. And I think that final like cut of every single movie, Avatar, whatever else was shown, Matrix, Terminator, I think that was a perfect way to like wrap up their story and like the themes of this movie. That everything they did contributed to everything that's coming in film. Which
I will say though that when I said I didn't like it, I liked the scenes of them. Of Manny, and I like those. Yeah, I just didn't need the montage personally, but I do get why people like that. It makes
for me the montage. For me the montage was like a TikTok montage that I just love, but it was put on a big screen. Like in all honesty, it was just something I enjoy. Like I could have gone without it, but I don't know. I really liked it, but it was a TikTok montage. But that doesn't mean like those don't bring me to my knees every time.
Do you know when everyone was like, all the reviews were like, "Oh, you never guess the ending." I was like, "It's not. I bet it's not that." I was like, "What were they
really?"
It really surprised me, to be honest. I didn't see like Avatar, like a clip of Avatar coming and stuff like that. I just found it so weirdly surprising.
I don't even care about Avatar, but that made me love Avatar. That's just made me fall in love with Avatar. What were you gonna say earlier, George?
And I'm happy you cut me off because that had nothing to do with this conversation about the ending of the movie. I was going to say the final shot of Nelly like walking into the dark while that song like played.
So when she's out the car and walk. I like that.
Yeah, that like literally like I don't know why it just put a tear in my eye, but I thought that was such like a fantastic exit for her.
George, I thought I cried at every film. I'm starting to think that you cry at every film.
I tear up very easily. I tear up incredibly easily.
I know Seth hasn't seen La La Land, so it's hard for him to compare, but I love the comparison of the
Jesus Christ, you haven't even seen it?
Because
you know I haven't seen it. What?
That's ReelTok. Like that's common knowledge in ReelTok history.
I get a comment like if I do a video on like my top 5 films from the 1920s, watch La La Land, whatever. Do you know what? I do need to watch it because I haven't seen First Man either. I haven't seen First Man or.
I mean that's more acceptable though than La La Land.
Yeah,
but I feel like I should go.
Everyone knows Seth hasn't seen La La Land. George hasn't seen About Time. That's like common ReelTok knowledge. But the thing is like because Manny and Sebastian and Mia in La La Land is like a romance you want to work, whereas in this one I didn't want Diego Calva and Margot Robbie to work because she's a horrible person that should not be with him, and he's such a good man. And, I mean, towards the end, he starts to, once he gets in the Hollywood machine, he starts to become, a little more devious and starts.
That scene was heartbreaking. You know what scene I'm talking about?
When he had to kick out
the makeup.
Just say what scene. We're in spoilers.
Oh yeah, sure. The makeup scene where they give him makeup to make him like the same color as the rest.
Dude, that
in fact, no, that might have brought so bad. Actually, I think
that actor. My girlfriend and I both thought this. Like that actor gave such an insanely incredible performance with such few words throughout the entire movie.
I agree.
But
his facial expressions were great.
So good.
The scene where he sat down and they're all like quizzing him on films like of color and stuff like that, and he just sat there without saying much. It was so.
And then like the last scene where he just walks out and like, "You're gonna need this to get back in tomorrow." He's like, "No, I don't." And then that's just the last you see.
Yeah,
so good.
He might also be the best performance.
Diego Calva wasn't that like he's been in like 2 films before.
Yeah, Diego Calva I freaking loved in Babylon.
He was really good.
That was his breakout.
There was no bad performances in it, like at all.
Agreed.
No, there was not.
Other than Tobey Maguire wasn't bad. He's just
Tobey
weird.
Maguire's hands.
No, he was
stupid,
good.
Tobey Maguire was spitting all the time.
So weird.
Yeah, he's just weird, yucky. Wasn't Charlie Chaplin either? Wasn't he supposed to be Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah.
So weird. When like news of this movie first came out, they said Tobey Maguire to play Charlie Chaplin and Damien Chazelle's next film Babylon. just simply not.
Yeah.
George and I were theorizing is because it's just such a bad portrayal of Charlie Chaplin that like no need like why can't we just put a fictional name on this? What's the point of like dragging someone's name? But
the vomiting scene.
The what scene?
The vomiting scene.
So Tyler,
is this what you were? I thought.
Yeah, we talked about that. This thing started out with an elephant shitting on not Diego Calva. No,
so stupid.
Oh my god, I was laughing so much.
No, bro,
it's so funny.
That part of the movie, I hate poop and pee jokes, man, and hate puke jokes. I hate it, dude. It's not funny in my opinion. I'm glad you find it funny, but that's when I was like, oh god, I see how this movie's gonna be whatever 50%.
It was a lot more comedy than I actually like realized, to be honest. Like I didn't think it'd be that.
See, like that's kind of like, you know, I see a lot of videos on talking about like the modern age of comedy. Like, you know, you're not gonna have like a pure comedy anymore, but like that Margot Robbie like acting scene where they're just like can't get the sound right and they can't get the scene right. Funny. Like that makes me laugh just as much as like, you know, Step Brothers or something. I love that scene.
It was just when the body fell out. I was dying.
So fucking funny, man. It was so good. Continue, Tyler. You're gonna say something.
Well, I was just gonna say like the only thing because I absolutely love Babylon. Like that's no surprise. Yeah. I've seen it twice. Huge fan. The whole Tobey Maguire part just could have been cut. Didn't care for that at all. It felt like it was very on the nose as well. As like Seth was saying, like it's like we get what they're going for here. And then the whole snake part, I was like, this could all be cut. I don't care for that.
Yeah, probably.
That was probably my least favorite part of the whole movie.
It was wild. I found that quite just
funny. I said I loved like the first hour and a half of this movie is like, other than the poop scene, like as soon as they move on, including the elephant scene,
that scene.
I like think that's like one of my like favorite first hour and a halves of movies ever. Yeah, and then it hits like an hour just lull for me. And then I loved the ending. So I loved the last like 30 minutes, we'll say. Like the middle hour just threw me off. And that's what takes it from 4.5 to
so were any of you like
third?
The second third was Charlie Chaplin, was it not? Or
no, that's the final third. That's
why because well, wherever that is.
Yeah, because I remember watching it the first time. Like I totally forgot about Tobey Maguire, and I vividly remember like 2 hours 15 minutes into Babylon, my first watch. I checked my phone, like seeing how much time's left. I was like, I thought Tobey Maguire was in this shit. And then like he finally
maybe my times are probably off. I only saw it the one.
I will say though, considering it's like a 3 hour plus film. I don't know about any of you, but I actually didn't feel like it dragged at any point, which is rare.
I didn't. No.
That's rare.
Just at the Tobey Maguire.
The
part,
scene
when that dragged. I
thought it dragged. Yeah, I didn't like. I really didn't like it.
Right. There were scenes I didn't like, but it didn't drag.
Yeah, I don't think anything dragged.
Maybe not
movie, but I think there was a lot of moments like the Tobey Maguire scenes that just didn't add anything.
I don't like that scene, but I want him in the film somehow. I don't like the scene, but I want him.
I actually thought that scene was pretty cool. I feel like just walking, it turned into like a horror movie at one point, and I was like,
it looked good, but it was like, okay, here's the depravity of Hollywood in these layers.
Yeah,
very in your face. It did look very good though. It was
that entire like half-hour sequence just to show that Nelly and Manny are fucked and they need to get out of the country, which could have been condensed into like some 5 minutes something.
Yeah, I love the probably about an hour 15 in when they get on the movie set and you just see like all the different movies going on at once on the different, not the one where there's the whole cuts with the sound, but when Margot Robbie first goes on that was such a good scene. I could have watched like a whole hour more of just like that director directing Margot Robbie. Like I love that.
It was great. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
This movie feels, and I don't know, correct me if I'm being stupid, but this movie feels, and Seth said it, like Scorsese's Wolf of Wall Street, where like prior to this movie, Damien Chazelle has done very tight, not necessarily large scale movies like Babylon. And then he writes Babylon and he's like, I just want to see what I can get away with.
Everything.
We haven't even mentioned it was outrageous, some of the scenes.
Yeah, like the entire first after the shit scene, the entire party in that house is like that. Literally just felt like Damien Chazelle saying, how far could I stretch my directing ability? How much could I get away with that people will be on board for?
Yeah.
I like that.
Any other points or moving on?
Question: Wolf of Wall Street or Babylon?
Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street.
Babylon.
You
Pretty
don't
easy
you
for
don't
me,
rate
too.
Wolf of Wall Street that high?
What
do you guys give Wolf of Wall?
Same as before, same as Babylon. So
I have Wolf of Wall Street
Street
at
5 for
4.5. It's a 4.5 for me. It's a 5 for you, George?
Yeah, it's 5 for me.
Really?